Hello everyone, back to you in today's video doing JMA Friday. As always on Friday we're having a look at the weather up ahead with the Japanese and CFS V2 models. We're going to take us into, just about into the second half of November. So we'll look at the JMA first of all, then we'll look at the CFS V2, we'll compare them and see what they are both showing for the month ahead. Been a warm October so far, so we'll see if there's any signs of something colder coming up in the next month. So we'll start off with the 500 millibar height anomaly flow charts from the JMA model from the North Pole down into the Northern Hemisphere. These are broken down into weekly periods, so the first weekly period will take us from today, the 20th, through to the 27th of October. Blue extrapolates to low pressure and yellow, orange and red extrapolates to high pressure. So we find that we've got the pole up here, of course, but mid-latitudes of the northern hemisphere are around there, and the British Isles is just there. For the week ahead, we've got an area of below average heights out to our west, with above average heights up to the east and the northeast, and also a ridge around there. So that leaves us doing something like that with the flow and with the jet stream. We're pulling up quite warm air there from the south and the southwest in the week ahead, but it is unsettled with this area of low pressure out to the west, probably providing wet weather, particularly to northern and western parts of the country. This is how week 2 is looking. This is taking us from the 27th of October through to the 3rd of November. And the trough of below average heights within the 500 millibar flow is becoming centred over the top of the country. The ridge is pulling back into the western part of the northern Atlantic Ocean. And this ridge out to our east and northeast is also being forced back as well. Jet stream is doing something a little bit like that. So we are almost on the cooler side of the jet there for the very closing days of October and into the start of November, almost on the cooler side of the jet. Also going to be unsettled still because we're within a trough of low pressure, so that will be providing showers, if not longer spells of rain, but slightly cooler temperatures coming along there as we go through to the closing days of the month. And then we go through to weeks 3 and 4, so this is a 2-weekly period. Remember, it might be a little bit transitional. It's always harder to sort of decipher what is going on in these 2-weekly periods. However, we have got below average heights out to our north-northwest. Above average heights appear to be building to our east as well, which again leaves us doing something bit like that with the flow and with the jet stream. So probably going back onto the mild side of the jet there actually through the early part of November. That's probably going to be quite mild. Winds coming up from a southerly type direction. And there could be showers or longer spells of rain in the north and the west of the country in particular, courtesy of that trough of low pressure. Let's have a look at the mid-latitude and tropical view in terms of temperature and precipitation anomalies for the next month. So we've got the equator of the Earth just there, and then the northern hemisphere is there, the southern hemisphere is there. The poles are off the chart. The South Pole is down there, and then the North Pole again off the chart up there. We just have a look at the pole view down though, so we don't need to see that again. Anyway, a reminder of the week. By the way, the British Isles in the top right-hand corner of the chart, of course, as you are looking at it. So, a reminder of the 500 millibar height anomaly for the week ahead. We've got the above-average heights to our south and also to our southeast as well. Below-average heights are out to the northwest, and we do something like that for the jet stream, bring up quite warm air, particularly from southern parts of the country. If we have a look at the let's have a look at the precipitation on me. So we are coming out quite wet actually for the week ahead, wetter than average with the rainfall. For temperatures though, coming out warmer, really warm week ahead with temperature anomalies, possibly up to around 2-3 degrees above average. That's a very warm temperature anomaly indeed for the next week. Week 2 places that area of below average heights over the top of the country, so becoming more centrally located. The ridge is getting forced back to the east. We also have this ridge just here. just about, I think, going on to the cooler side of the jet. So this should be a cooler week. It is still very unsettled, though. Precipitation anomalies are coming out wetter than average for the week ahead. And then temperature anomalies, well, they're still quite substantially milder than average. Actually, still around 1 to 2 degrees above average. Not as warm as week 1, but perhaps not quite as cool as I thought they might be there for week 2, the closing days of October and into the start of November. And then we go through to weeks 3 and 4, takes us from the 3rd to the 17th of November. And this one we have below average heights, I should say, out to our west, with above average heights building to our east, to our northeast as well. Still, we come out with above average precipitation anomalies for that 2-weekly period from the 3rd to the 17th of November, and temperature anomalies are still coming out warmer than average, especially so for England and Wales. So we're really warm but quite wet month ahead from the JMA. Let's have a look at CFS V2, see what that's showing. So this is the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly from the CFS, very latest, for the week from today, the 20th, through to the 26th of October. Above average heights are down to the south and also to the southeast as well. Below average heights out to the northwest. And we do something like that with the flow and with the jet stream. So it looks unsettled, particularly to the northwest. Driest conditions in the southeast, but wind is coming up from a southerly southwesterly direction, so it is likely to be very mild. And this continues into week 2 as well, the 27th of October to the 2nd of November. Again, above average heights are down to the south to the southeast of the country, below average heights up to the north. Haven't got a reach there. And we do something a bit like that with the flow, with jet stream. So again, probably bringing up quite warm air from a southerly southwesterly direction for the final days of October into the start of November. This is how week 3 is looking. This is the 3rd through to the 9th of November. Still an area below average heights around Iceland. Otherwise, we've got above average heights through the Atlantic and also to the south of the UK. And increasingly building up towards the northeast of Scandinavia as well. Doing something like that with the flow, with the jet stream. So we remain on the mild side of the jet stream, I would have thought. Actually, that's a little bit wrong. So the jet stream probably going through there. We remain on the mild side of the jet stream there for week 3. Unsettled in the north, driest, not completely dry, driest conditions in the south. Then we go through to week 4, and we finish up with quite a significant change taking place then. This is from the 10th through to 16th of November, and suddenly the above average heights are appearing to our north as opposed to being to the south. So we have ridging there from the south of Greenland through Iceland and going towards Scandinavia as well. Presumably there's below average heights running through here, and what this would do, it would turn the wind into an easterly direction with the westerly winds going down there. So that looks like it's getting blocked as we go through into week 4, which could bring significantly colder weather there through the middle part of November. Now, I'm going to show you the temperature anomaly in mode, and the model will still be saying mild because that is what the season models do. But with above average heights building to our north, turning the winds into the east, it's November, so it's not going to be warm. That will bring substantially colder conditions. But do bear in mind, that is week 4, very, very long way out, and most unreliable part of the update is sort of week 4. So coming back to week 1, temperature anomalies, they are substantially warmer than average in weekend, not just for the UK, but for virtually all parts of Europe as well. We go through to week 2, and that continues with very significantly warmer than average temperature anomalies for the UK and for much of Europe also. Week 3, again, very significantly warmer than average for the UK and most parts of Europe too. And then week 4, so it's still coming out warmer than average in week 4, although the anomaly is lowering a little bit. Most of Europe also coming out warmer than average, although the anomaly is lessening. But I have to again say that if we did get that sort of blocking developing to our north, we've got blocking areas of high pressure up to the north, and the wind going into the east, because it's November, the time of year implies that if wind's going to the east, it's going to get colder. So ignore those week 4 temperature anomalies. I think they're a bit too high. Other than that, though, yes, we do agree that it will be a really warm month coming up. And in terms of precipitation anomalies, so we have a wetter than average week for the week ahead, 20th, 26th of October, 27th to the 2nd of October to the 2nd of November. That one comes out with average precipitation anomalies. Then we have average rainfall again from the 3rd to the 9th of November, and then week 4 rounds it all off when it is a weak signal, but if anything, it might be turning a little bit drier than average, particularly to the north and west, and also over here to the northeast of the country. That's indicative of that blocking feature getting going to our north. So not much to go on really for anybody who wants cold weather, except the CFS week 4 500 millibar height anomaly does look as though it's a pattern change occurring in that middle part of November. And if blocking features did develop to our north, they'd swing the winds into the east, and inevitably it would start to get colder. But other than that, and it's a week 4 anomaly, so most unreliable part of all of this. Other than that, it looks like we're in for really quite a warm end to October. Both models are in agreement about that. Probably quite wet at times as well, and these warm and wet conditions likely to last at least into the early part of November, before maybe, if we believe CFS week 4 anomaly, maybe something a bit colder starts to happen in the middle part of November. As ever, these long-range models are always highly unreliable. It's experimental stuff. We're pushing the boundaries of what is possible in terms of weather forecasting with these long-range updates. So take it with a big pinch of salt. Could all look very, very different when we do JMA Friday next week. Tomorrow we've got the weekend forecast coming up. We're within the reliable time frame. Then expect it to be quite warm and wet. As we go through to tomorrow evening, we'll have a CFS 6 look at. That really is just for fun. And then on Sunday, loads of updates coming up. So we'll have the 7th Winter 2017-18 update for you on Sunday. And also there'll be other updates as well. Probably do the next written post for Christmas. And there'll be more as well. So keep checking back over the weekend for all of the updates. But that's all for now. And thanks for watching.